Yo, what's poppin', guys? You got your boy Andre here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, it's gonna be talking about a few different things. First, let me go ahead and just for those of you who are wondering, because I know a few of you guys have asked me this in DMs on either Discord or Twitter or whatever. I did actually finish the last of the preparations I need for me to start streaming. I will probably be doing so later today or maybe tomorrow. I don't really know. I just, yeah, I'm really bad when it comes to actually getting around to doing these things, which probably I'm probably not going to have a set schedule for how I'm going to stream, but I'm going to, I'm going to try to work it out. Anyway, so for this video, I'm going to be talking about the nerfs, or, lack thereof. I'm actually, well, okay, so I'm of mixed feelings on this particular thing, so you're going to hear me kind of just, express my thoughts on this, because initially I was kind of, I was a little bit surprised. It was one of those, I fell asleep, I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wake up to nerfs, and, everything will be fine. I did not wake up to nerfs. That made me kind of a little bit upset, because I had a really cool catchy title for what I was gonna name the thing, because I just assumed that, oh, okay, well, Daria's gonna get touched, right? Because rune's 30% ladder. Daria's, of course it's gonna get touched. It did not get touched. Neither did Dragon. Neither did Shadow. Neither did anything else. Nothing got touched. And so I know a lot of people from what I saw on both Discord and Reddit, a lot of people were up in arms about this, very salty. And for the most part, I don't particularly blame anyone. Just because it's one of those kind of necessary, or it's one of those kind of I don't want to say expected things, but yeah, it's more or less expected things, because. And I can't forget that at some point this is going to happen. I just didn't think that this is the patch that it happens on. Where, okay, so before we used to go where we just got no nerf announcements, or we just got no nerf announcements at all. What we would get is that we would just get a sort of okay, say end of the month or sort of thing, or whatever, which okay, maybe we got nerfs or maybe we didn't get nerfs or anything like that. But then when we started getting the sort of nerf announcement things or whatever, which they would guaranteed mention whether or not they were or weren't going to nerf stuff whatever, and then having them talk about it. That was fine. But I kind of expected that. I kind of just assumed that at some point people are gonna kind of expect these things or demand these things, and that when they don't deliver, that's gonna kind of cause a large uproar. And this is one of those periods. Now, there's a lot of things to discuss for this sort of thing, and which is why I want to go ahead and I wanted to just pull up the reasons for why they didn't nerf things, and I want to go ahead and walk you through these, walk you through this if I could. So, in the February 14th announcement, there won't be changes to any cards or abilities. There will also not be any new bans or restrictions in the limited format. Until now, we've explained our reasoning with the use of individual deck usage and win rates, but we won't be doing so this time. Since there are no changes to cards, new cards, or new sets, we're concerned that this information could effectively serve as advice on how to win matches. We hope that they will bear with us for our approach this month. For rotation format, data from higher ranking matches in early February didn't reveal any decks with a particularly high win rate. There are currently 12 deck types with a 51% win rate or higher, and there are 8 decks with usage rates of 4.0% or higher. This is made for a reasonably diverse play environment. Some deck play rates have temporarily surged, however, their win rates still are not particularly high, and as a result, those play rates tend to drop after a few days. For that reason, we've decided that changes to cards aren't necessary this time around. We'll still be keeping a close watch on play rates in the days ahead. Data taken from high-ranking rotation matches in early January revealed that the first player win rate was 52%. However, this has dropped to 50.4% as of early February. The first player win rate is therefore getting closer to 50%. For Unlimited, basically, they more or less set the same thing. To sum up, there aren't any decks that have particularly high win rates or usage rates. The play environment is diverse. There's no extreme first player advantage. For these reasons, we've decided that changes to cards aren't necessary this time around. And then they more or less just covered why when they would have the next few nerf mounts. On the bright side, these are now 3 weeks instead of say 4 weeks, which is kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, just going back up and just kind of dissecting this bit by bit. Yes, it is technically a diverse play environment. However, I think one of the things that kind of affects people right now is the whole, well, your Q pockets, which is something that I've meaning to talk about, but I just never get a chance to talk about. But like, what time of the day you queue, that does actually decide what sort of decks you're going to be facing. And so for a lot of people, they might unfortunately be queuing into like Daria pockets and whatnot. And that's usually not a good time, just because what happens is that either the Daria player will somehow have unbelievably terrible luck and they won't draw anything, and you just like steamroll them, or they'll have god luck and they'll just get like OTK'd by like turn 6 or something like that, and you'll just be like, oh, huh, okay then. Unless of course you're playing Dragon, you have like Conflag or whatever. But yeah, it's like things like that, or maybe say people who didn't like Dragon. Oh, well, on the weekends, Dragon is very, very popular. So if you play it all on the weekends, you damn sure better have like Dragon tech or whatever, or you're gonna have a bad time. And hell, even then, you might still have a bad time just because like there are some games where Dragon just kind of steamrolls you, because you know every game has every like game has, or every like deck or whatever has like its like nut draw or how best it can possibly open, that just like becomes, you know, too much or like too insurmountable. And of course with Dragon, you know, like Dragon is no exception to this. Like there are some games where or your Dragon opponent has 4 ramp, and then they also have Fervor, and then they also have Baja, and then they also have like all their late game bombs, and you're just like, oh well, I can't do anything. And that's just, you know, really, really unfortunate. I definitely did expect Daria to get touched though, or at least some part of Rune, just because like Rune has like 3 very strong decks right now, and 2 of the 3 of them are pretty annoying, just because like they have like 2 different vectors that they can attack you on, and that they both have a substantial amount of burn, and then they also have pretty good creatures to back that up. And that of Daria and then burn Rune. For Dragon, it was, you know, same thing. Like they can kind of beat you on 2 vectors. They can either OTK you, or they just like play the better value game and whatnot. Now granted, I don't particularly, I'm still unsure of how they would go about nerfing some of these things. Granted, I do, you know, of course, like have like my speculations on how best they would nerf it in order to, you know, still make it playable but not kill the card entirely. But yeah, it's just really, really unfortunate. So as a result, that brings us to the here and now, the post no nerf changes, and so there are a lot. You have a few different options. You can choose to play, you can choose to take a break, you can choose to if you're not going to play, if you are going to play, figure out how best you're going to beat it. Like, it doesn't mean that, oh, well, you might have to queue at a different time in order to like avoid a certain match, but they don't want to fight. Which if you want to do that, I can help you out. Or do you want to like say possibly tech against the metagame overlords or whatever, and like try to like find a way to win? Because like, believe it or not, most of these decks are techable, or sorry, most of these decks you can actually tech for by singular cards or whatever, depending of course on your deck type, or by just like switching decks altogether. Like for example, Daria doesn't deal well versus Dragon for the most part, as long as the Dragon player is playing Conflag. Or say, what's another really, really annoying that metagame deck we both play? Or say for example, Dirt Rune. Dirt Rune doesn't deal well if your deck somehow has a lot of heals and also plays like good creatures. So for example, Dragon. Like Dragon usually like craps on Dirt Rune, or Sword. Sword has really, really difficult times versus AoE, in which it just like can't do anything at all. It's especially as long as you like force their evos early, so this way you're still like a high like HP total. Yeah, I can go ahead and do that. And that should be probably what I start doing for my next video. I'll probably just gonna try to like break down each of the 12 decks, although I'm not really sure what all 12 of these decks are. Like off the top of my head, I think I know like 5. So I'll definitely still go ahead and try to do that for you guys. That one might take a while though. It might take a while because I'll go ahead and I'll actually try to like have gameplay for each one of these. But yeah, it should take some time. But yeah. Oh, the last thing, but before I go ahead and I stop this like video, for those of you who are kind of like, or you're kind of, you know, feeling a little bit like disillusioned with the game, we are like halfway through this particular set, so it's actually like really good news. There's still chess event. If you guys care about that, you guys can go ahead and like try to like find some like quick decks and just like play out that and just try to grind gold for the next event. I myself have already started saving. I should have started saving sooner, and I would have more gold if I was actually playing chess event, but I've been kind of busy with life events and whatnot, so I haven't been able to play as much. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like, go ahead and subscribe, and let me know what your plans to deal with the whole lack of nerfs are. Are you annoyed? Are you pissed off? Are you happy? Are you sad? You know, give me your thoughts on these. Like, how did you feel about it? How did you feel that they responded to you on this? Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.